Go get her family. Oh man, I just got a call, man. Okay, we're still on. That was somebody really important too. I had to hit the ignore button. Gotta text him though. Sorry guys. Okay, guys, today we are talking about the American dream. Is the American dream really a nightmare? I say it is. You know, the American dream now, it's a nightmare, man. It is a nightmare, man. Like true Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, oh my goodness. Then, the knowledge that I already knew, you know, and then I was doing some research today, and the things that I was finding out. Oh my goodness, man, it's kind of scary. You know, to think about what's going on with our country, where we're at. It is a little scary, man. Let me see if this is working. Could make sure this. Okay. Okay. So, guys, we're on Facebook tonight and we're on YouTube. You know, I'm stepping up my game. You know, my philosophy is get better every day, man, even if it's just a little bit. Okay. So, you know, is the American dream really, really a nightmare? You know, and I think everybody knows that it pretty much is. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to be though. That's what we're here. That's what we're here for today. It does not have to be. So, you know, when you become the bank, you can reach the real American dream. You know, that's that's the short of it. And not too many people know that they can become the bank. So that is the mission of my channel. You know, I'm going to bring you guys actionable knowledge in real estate investing to put you on the path to financial freedom. You know, we're going to bring financial literacy, you know, to the everyday people, and also, you know, we talk about what it takes to overcome ourselves as well, to get an undefeated mind. That's what this channel is all about. You know, we want to help. We're bringing actual actionable knowledge to everyday people, you know, like you, like me, like my mom, my dad, that never had a shot at financial freedom, man, was just living paycheck to paycheck and getting paid for their time, right? And it wasn't even a lot. Like the paid for their time was not a lot. So, guys, first off, Americans are at an all-time high level of debt. Just generally, like American citizens are in debt at a ridiculous level, and then America as a country is in debt. And what's crazy is about that. I'm going to get into that a little bit because we teach financial literacy here. Okay, so America's got you know, the deficit. It's 20 trillion or something like that, something ridiculous, right? Well, like China is the number one debt holder in the world for American debt. They own 5% of American debt. Then the country behind that at 4% is Japan. We dropped a nuclear bomb on Japan, and now they own a bigger portion of America than everybody in the world, pretty much, except for China. I mean, it's kind of scary if you think about it. You know, we dropped a nuke on them, and that now they own all of that. And Japan's little. They got a population of like 200 or 300 million, or yeah, like 200 million, 150 million. It's way smaller than the United States, and they own 4% of our debt. Now, what really bothered me, because people don't know about these things, but I do. That's what I'm teaching you guys to do, man. That's why I hope that people take this in and take action with it, because America itself owns some of American debt, right? But they own it because they wrote a note, a promise to pay a promise to pay. They wrote a note saying, I, the United States, promise to pay of this debt that I'm buying, by such and such time. What? Yeah. So did you guys know that we can do that with title companies too? We can do that with a title company. And when we go to put down our earnest money deposit, our deposit on a purchase that we're going to make, if we agreed upon that in the contract, we can just write a note. We create a note. We're making money out of thin air, guys. We're making money out of thin air. And that's the beautiful part about it. We create debt. We create debt, right? We don't get into debt, go-getters. We create debt. We don't get into debt. Okay. So for the people that are showing up late, that's cool. I mean, everybody's busy. You know what I mean? Busy schedule. If you're an entrepreneur or got kids, whatever, man, trying to keep up on your bills. We're talking about the American dream really being a nightmare, and then I'm going to show you guys how, when you become the bank, you can actually live the real American dream and not be in debt, guys, not be in debt. Okay. Did you guys know, like a bank, they will loan out 10 times more than whatever deposit you make. So if you make $1,000 deposit into your bank, they're going to loan out $10,000 based off of that deposit. Okay. So I want you guys to understand this. Us accumulating debt, that is a bank's acquisition department. Their acquisition, just like our acquisitions, the GoGetter family with our sub 2 and creative real estate is acquiring a house. Well, they acquire us. They acquire our future because, we'll have debt, man. That's their acquisition, right? And then their disposition is selling that debt on the secondary market, selling it to somebody else. And then they turn around and sell it again, guys. So, guys, we're becoming the bank. So we create debt. Again, we create debt. We don't get into debt. So, we stand out. We're what they call outliers. All right. Now, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. You always hear the term on the average. The average person makes this amount of money, or the average person, the average family, the average household in America. Guys, an average, when you use the average of a number, you got to understand statistics a little bit. When you use the average of a number, that can be very, very misleading. Very misleading. And, the people that are skilled in this and educated in this, they know that. They know that, guys. So what's crazy is the average, it's so misleading because let me go to this. For example, okay, the average household in 1989 had $350,000 in assets. Okay, so the average family in 1989, their wealth was $350,000. Now today, the average family has $700,000 in wealth. It's so misleading. Let me ask you guys this: do you guys know anybody that has an average of $700,000 in wealth? The average person they're talking about, like the average is supposed to be middle class, and guys, I don't know too many people worth 700,000. I mean, I do now more than I did before, but I mean, just regular everyday Joes, like growing up, I didn't know anybody worth 700,000. Right. So they say the average, but where that's misleading is this. You got to take the median number. Okay. And that will give you a better picture of what's really going on. All right. Because the median number is the person in the middle. All right. So let's make it easy. Just say you have 5 people. Okay. You got 5 people. Hold on one second. I got to get something for you guys. I'm gonna get my whiteboard out for you guys because this is super important. Okay. Super duper important. Oh man. I should have had this set up. I didn't have no time though. I'm out here busting moves. Trying to get some of this wealth back for the everyday people, man. The everyday day people need to get some of our money back. All right, let me get this whiteboard. I'm gonna put you guys on some game. Oh, boss Bill's job. You can see it. What? All right. Man, there's bugs for these lights. All right. Okay, guys. We're going to do it like this so you can understand the median, all right? The median number it is more informative than the average, all right? So, guys, when they use averages, they lie to us. So the median, we're just going to take the number 5, all right? So there's 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So let's say now the median is going to be the person in the middle, all right? The person in the middle, you watch their movement, what they have, and that will give you, that's a better indication of what the average person has, because this person could have $0. This person could have $100, right? So this guy has a 0. This person has $100. But if you take the average of that, right? The average, so that'd be 5 or 100 divided by 5. That's going to give you 20. So if you took the average of $0 and $100 at the high end, you would say so we could say, hey, the average person in America has $20, and you would think they're talking about everybody, right? But this poor person over here only has $0, and this guy up here has $100. You know what I mean? So the average is quite misleading. It's quite misleading. Now, the median, on the other hand, right? You figure that out. Whoops. You figure that out like this. Sorry, guys, my phone is just doing too much. Okay. Okay. So the median, since there's five people right here, okay? So that means there's a number in the middle. There's a person in the middle. So the median is going to be what this person in the middle has, all right? So I'm going to give you these numbers, okay? I'm going to give you these numbers so you can get a better indication of what's really happening with credit and income inequality, and then you'll be able to see how this affects you on an everyday basis and your family, man. You know, and I'm going to show you guys how we can beat this, how we create debt, right? And not go into debt. Okay, we do not do that as go-getters. All right, so we're going to do this. The bottom 10% of the population. This is population over here. Oh, I can't even see all the way down. Okay, the bottom 10% of the population. All right, then we're going to go with the middle 10%. All right, then we're going to go with the top 10%. Okay, so in 1989, guys, the bottom 10% of our population had $0 in assets. The bottom 10% of our population has $0 in assets. All right. And if you guys got some questions, I'll take some questions here in a bit. Just put them in the, put them in the comment section, the live chat, and I'll look out for you. So bottom 10% of our population had zero assets, $0 in assets. All right. The median, the midpoint, the middle class, that's what we always talk about. And that's what's really disappearing, right? The middle class had in 1989, this is, let me put 1989, had 87,000 in assets. Okay, 87,000. I thought I put that on. I thought I put this on silent. Okay. Now the top 10% though, the top 10% had $686,000 in assets. This is why, people. This is why, and I'm about to show you a number that'll blow your mind. This is why you can't go off of averages. If you did the average, you pretty much would just be saying, okay, yeah, the average person has, 87,000 in assets, but the bottom 10% has zero, and the top 10% has 686K. Now, this is where it gets and I'm getting to the credit portion too. You just got to understand this first, okay? This is where it gets kind of ridiculous, okay? All right. So now we're going to go to 2016. And I'm going to do that in red. In 2016, guys, and for people that are showing up late, this is about the American dream really being a nightmare, okay? And how by becoming the bank, you can really live the real American dream, okay? Right now, we're talking about assets, the average assets in America. I'm sorry, yeah, the median assets in America. 1989, bottom 0, bottom 10%, 0 assets. Middle class, 87K. Top 10%, 686K. Now, guys, this is what's disturbing. In 2016, the bottom 10% of our society had negative $1,000 in assets as a household. The bottom 10% of the households in the United States had negative $1,000. Okay. Now the top 10% grew. I mean, they say, our economy's doing well and, this, that, so they should grow, right? So the top 10% in 2016 had 1.186 million. That's million with an M, dollars in assets. All right. So if they try to trick us with the average number, when they throw that out, the average household, and you would think like the average, it denotes the middle class, right? So they kind of try to trick us, right? Now, but when you look at the median number in statistics, okay, the median number, and if you don't have a number like 5, how I use, so there was a middle person, you just take like let's say we had 6 people, you would take, let me see, 1, 2. You would take 3 and 4, the third and fourth person, add those numbers together, divide it by 2. That will give you your median number. So math is important, guys. Now, the median household in 2016. So from 89 to 2016, which is 27 years. Guys, this is disturbing. The median, which is the real indicator, the median household grew a whole none. They didn't grow any. In 27 years, the middle class still had $87,000 in assets. The median middle class family had $87,000 in assets, but the top 10%, so the middle 10%, it was still at 87K. The top 10% pretty much doubled. So this is where the wealth disparities happen. All right. Now, this goes along with the credit crisis, man, the American dream, right? The American dream, man, the American dream nowadays is you're trying to live this dream so tough that you're in debt up to your eyeballs because you want to have the boat, the nice car, this and that. So now you work and you're a slave to this job because you're a slave to those things, because you have become the credit cards and the lenders acquisition. Your debt, your future is their acquisitions, your future. Guys, no, not my go-getter family. I'm gonna put you guys on game. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm done with this board. Let me let me get that out of the way. But yeah, man, the bottom 10%, come on. The bottom 10%, negative $1,000 in assets, guys, as the household. That's just that is ridiculous, man. This is the United States. Now I'm going to give you the game. Now I'm going to give you the game, though. So check it out. This is where the American dream becomes a freaking nightmare, guys. Because, like I said, now this, this is strictly my opinion, man. About freaking lights getting fun. So, this is strictly my opinion about keeping up with the Joneses and the American dream, being the American dream. Being keeping up with the Joneses, man. You got to get the nice house with a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, and you pay more interest than you do principal for the first 15 years. You got to get the nice car. You got to get a boat. I got a friend, man. He's a doctor, right? And he was about to get a boat. And he's man, we've been talking, about debt and all that stuff. So he buys a boat, it's I guess mid-level. He bought it cash, so no debt, right? Well, there's a nurse under him, and the nurse has a big old boat, and the nurse is like, oh, come on, you can afford a bigger boat than that, but why? To go into debt? And he doesn't need a bigger boat. But this is the mentality of the American people, the average American person, man. They just want to, keep up with the Joneses and have all these nice, unnecessary things. Instead of owning it, they just borrow against their future, man. They borrow against their future, and these things are collateral. So if you stop making those payments, that lender is going to just repo that item or foreclose on that home and take it back and resell it again and put somebody else in debt and start the whole thing over again, man. It's like they call it like the rat race or the hamster wheel of debt. You're on the hamster wheel of debt, man. You're running, but you ain't going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. So check this out. Right now, the most debt in the United States, person's most debt is because of unexpected medical expenses. Unexpected medical expenses. Okay, you go into debt for that. Which is ridiculous to me. It's unexpected medical expenses. The average family household has $8,640 per household in debt, and most of that is due to medical expenses, unexpected. So there was a Bankruptcy Protection Act of 2005. Okay, and what that did was it made it harder for people to file for bankruptcy, right? So when it became harder to file for bankruptcy, and bankruptcy is, when you clear your debt pretty much, and then your credit's bad for like 7 years after that, depending on which bankruptcy you file, but you don't have that debt anymore. You haven't leased your future to these big lenders. You file bankruptcy and it's over with, So by the 2005 Bankruptcy Protection Act, that made it harder to file bankruptcy. All right. So what that did in essence, it made credit card debt grow. Okay, it made credit card debt grow because people can't file bankruptcy and you're running low on money. You get that unexpected medical bill, then your other bills start to pile up. What do? You pull out the plastic. And then you put it on a credit card. And guys, I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you guys because I'm guilty of this. It's a trap. I was guilty of this. It's a trap. And it can stop, it should stop. It has to stop. And I've made it stop, and to be 100% honest, guys, me starting these businesses, betting on myself, I had to use some credit cards. Betting on myself, man. And now a lot of the things that I bought are costing a lot extra because of those high interest rates, man. I have brought a credit card bill with me too. I got it here. I'm going to show you guys something here in a minute. So that's what people do. They bust out the credit card to pay for things, right? And people feel like credit card debt now is almost there's a stigma on it. So people will say like how much they owe on their house or whatever, but when you ask them how much they owe on a credit card, they actually say 40% less than they actually owe, so they try to hide it, but they're steadily buying things on credit, man, on credit, leasing their future, mortgaging their futures, mortgaging their futures. All right, guys. And GoGetterFamily.com. We got the game for you to get you out of debt, get you that financial freedom, man. But you got to have financial literacy. You got to have a strategy, and you got to know how to make money without money. And we got that game for you, right? And we're gonna turn you into the bank. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the bank because you can. A lot of people just don't know how. And I found this strategy. I found this strategy maybe. Let me see. I did my first subject too in April. In April, and now I'm out here eating, but I get to it, man. That's what the Go-Getter family is from. I'm a go-getter. So the rest of the go-getters out there, we're gonna get to it as a family, y'all. We take care of the fam. So that 2005 Bankruptcy Protection Act made it harder to file bankruptcy. Therefore, when these medical bills piled up, unexpected medical bill, people will put that on a credit card, which is sad. It's sad, but you have to do it, man, or they'll come foreclose on your stuff. They'll come take your stuff, man, that hopefully you aren't trying to keep up with the Joneses. I don't even care about that, man, because, money doesn't make you. Things do not make you. If you get your respect and love because of the things that you have, man, that love is so fleeting and it's not even real. It's superficial. Who wants that kind of love, man? That's not, I don't want it. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you want to be around me for, that's what you love me for, man, you can keep that. I'm cool. I'm good. Like, I'm cool. And I'm not mad at you either. I'm not mad at you. Well, what I got to be mad for? You know what I mean? You like what you like. I like what I like. You know what I mean? But I like authenticity. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't have to buy a bunch of things that I cannot afford in order to look good for such and so, right? That's what gets us into trouble. And the thing about it is, guys, we all have this. It's called the fear of loss, okay? The fear of loss, right? And psychologically, okay, paying with a credit card, to us, it feels safer, right? Because we're pulling out the plastic, man. I'm gonna pull out my Walmart, my Sam's Club card. We're pulling out the plastic. Here, put it on the plastic, right? Put it on the plastic. So that tempers down our fear of loss factor instead of getting money out of our wallet and counting the money up like, oh man, 20, 40, 60, 80, $100. That $100 leaving your hand, you're like, ooh, man, that hurts. But putting it on a credit card, it doesn't feel as bad. Not knowing that $100, man, if you put something on a credit card and you make the minimum payments on that, you're going to end up paying $2,800 on that until it's paid off. If you're making the minimum payments every month on a $1,000 purchase, you end up paying $2,800 over time on that. If you're making that minimum payment. Okay. Now, credit card companies, guys, and for those just tuning in, we're talking about the American dream being a nightmare. And the reason why it's a nightmare is because you are a slave to stuff. You're a slave to stuff because you got this stuff off of this piece of plastic and a promise to pay, but these people want their money, and they're adding interest onto their money. So now, instead of being able to enjoy that stuff, you're too busy working so hard and thinking about what you got to do to keep it that you can't even enjoy it. You can't even enjoy it because you're on a weekly, like you got to work this many hours a week in order to keep this stuff. You got to make this much money a week in order to keep this stuff. Guys, we can't be the bank's acquisition anymore. Our futures cannot be the bank's acquisition. You just can't. You know what I mean? Because we're auctioning off not only our futures, we're auctioning off our kids' futures. You know what I mean? Their kids' futures. Man, you ain't got to do it. I'm gonna give you the game. You don't got to do it. That's real. So check it out. Credit card companies, they got two types of customers. All right. There's transactors, okay, and transactors pay off their credit cards every month. Okay, so if they make a purchase, they make $1,000 purchase. When that bill comes due, they pay the entire $1,000. So they got an interest-free loan. You know, these people, I mean, they're doing it the best way. They got an interest-free loan. So that said, the banks and lenders, they don't. Oh man, did I just mess my thing up? Oh, okay, I'm a little behind on this thing. All right, my bad, guys. I had to check something out on Facebook. I'm not good with technology. So anyway, check it out. Oh, but I'm getting better. So you got transactors, and transactors pay off their purchases every month. Okay. Now there's that myth out there that because this is what, like, when I was young, I always heard oh, you don't have bad credit, you just don't have any credit, right? But then when little Billy next to me went and applied for the same thing with credit, man, they like, oh, you only want one of them? You can have three if you want. I was like, man, how the heck? What? How does he get three and I don't have bad credit? I just have no credit, so I can't get none. I'm like, man, how does that even work, right? So that's because, guys, financial literacy is so important. And I wasn't taught that by my parents because they didn't know, you know what I mean? And then we're not taught that in school because they want us, if public schools, they want us in an employee mindset. They want us in an employee mindset, okay? So the things that we don't learn about compounding interest. We don't learn about APRs. We don't learn about credit cards and how to build that credit, right? Because they want us in an employee mindset. Okay, here, learn how to balance this checkbook. Okay, go to school for 8 hours a day, right? So we can get you in shape. We got to get you in shape so you can work 8 hours a day. Yeah, that's what that is. They man, what? They getting you in shape so we can work at 8 hours a day. They're not teaching us how to be free thinkers, how to bet on ourselves, how to have undefeated minds. They don't teach us those things, man. They teach us to conform. They teach us to get ready to be in an employee mindset. And they don't give us the knowledge necessary to be critical thinkers. All right. So don't fall for it, man. Don't fall for it. And those that have, like I did, there's a way out. There's a way out. All right. So you've got your transactors that pay everything off every month, man. I go off on tangents sometimes too, man, but it is what it is. Then you've got revolvers. Okay. Revolvers, these are who the banks want. The banks want revolvers. All right. Because revolvers, they're making that minimum payment each month. They're making the minimum payment each month. And if you don't think that it's strategic that they offer you certain things, they send you a credit card. Like it was made against the law when Obama was in office to send a credit card that was already all you had to do is call the number and activate it. That they made that against the law because people were getting those credit cards. They were sending them to poor people that had never had credit before. It was called subprime lending. And these people were just getting into crazy debt. They would get the credit cards, right? I worked for a credit card company in collections, and I had to quit, man, because I was talking to my own people. You know what I mean? I was collecting money from my own people. I was like, man, I can't do this. And when I say own people, I don't mean like my skin color. I mean like my class of people, like the type of people that are just regular, everyday people that grew up like I grew up, man. You know what I mean? Working class, everyday people. I was collecting money from them, man, and using my ability to articulate to, collect that money. And they would send these people credit cards, right? And say, hey, yeah, you're approved. It's subprime lending. So remember I told you, I used to hear, hey, you don't have bad credit, you just don't have any credit. So as soon as a person like me would hear you're approved, I'm like, what? Man, run that. I need that. Send it. When's it gonna be here? What I got to do? Can I put something on it as soon as I get it? These are the type of questions I'd ask, you know what I mean? Because I'd never had credit before. So what they do is, this. You would get a credit card with a $300 limit. You get approved for $300. Man, don't you know $179 of that credit, that $300 credit, was fees. And it's on there immediately before you even activate it. The fees are on there. So if you get that credit card and you activate it and you don't read the small print and you don't spend anything on it, right? And 30 days go by, you're getting a bill. You're getting a bill because you got to pay that $179 in fees, and then you only get $121 in credit. Subprime lending, guys. Subprime lending, man. They tore us up. They tore us up. And if you weren't aware of these things, didn't know these things, man, you like, what? I only spent $30 on this credit card. How do I owe $200? That's not even, it doesn't even add up. They're like, well, you agreed to it when you activated it. There's $179 in fees and woo wop da bam. Now you stuck, you know, because the average person is going to call and they're going to get so many levels of people and get so frustrated, man, and get to cussing people out. And people don't want to hear that when you cussing them out. They like, you're not getting nowhere and you're just stuck, right? So these banks, they want revolvers. Okay, pay that minimum payment every month. Pay that minimum payment every month, right? And this is what happens, guys. I had to get, man, where'd my credit card bill go? I got a credit card bill. I'm gonna show y'all my business because I ain't tripping. I'm not tripping about it. And then I haven't even opened it. Look, I ain't even opened the thing. This better be a bill. I'm pretty sure it's a bill because I pay all mine auto pay or whatever, but about to pay them things off. Yeah, okay, let me see. Hey. All right, just open this fresh out the box. This fresh out the envelope. All right, so I've got a balance. Let me black out my account number real quick, and I'm gonna show y'all my balance real quick. I'm gonna show y'all my balance, right? And then they've got a space on there that they kind of hide away, right? They kind of hide that away so you can't see it, but it's got to be on there by law. By law, the Dodd-Frank Act made them have to put this on there on your credit card bills by law, so that you know what your payoff is if you continue to pay the minimum payment. It's got to be on there by law, right? So right now, guys, I've got a balance of 1,200. Can you see that light? $1,294. $1,294, and then my minimum payment is $39, right? And this is for May. Now what I'm going to show you, man, is the crazy part. This is the crazy part. Because you see how they put that minimum payment, like right there, you know, my minimum payment's $39. That's right up at the top. The minimum payment is right up at the top, right where you can see it, you know, because they want you to pay. Man, I ain't got no room to set stuff down. I got to get something. They want you to see that. They want you to see that $39 up there. You see that $39 right there? That's what they want you to pay. They want you to pay the minimum payment so that you can then, after that, let them beat you down on the interest. They beat you to heck. They beat you to hell. I'm just going to say, man, they beat the hell out of you on the interest. But they want you to pay that minimum payment. So they put that right up at the top, right? So that, I'm just crossing out some information. They put that right up at the top. So they're like, okay, yeah, pay that, man. Pay that, right? So check this out. I'm going to circle it. This is why, guys, this is why we create debt and we don't go into debt, all right? Check that out. You see that? If I was to pay only the minimum $51 for 6 years, it would double that 1,200 some bucks. It would be 2,300 some dollars. Oh no, I'm sorry. The minimum is 51. If I paid $51 for 3 years, I pay 1,800 bucks. And then if I paid that minimum 39, I pay 2,300. So that saved me $490, man. That extra $12 a month would save me $490, right? Off that interest, dude. It's crazy, man. This is why America's in debt. And I'm just like y'all, man. I'm just like y'all. I'm no better. I'm no different, right? I'm a regular person, man. I grew up, my pops was a construction worker, you know what I mean? Man, I moved around so much with my mom. I don't know if she was a waitress and all types, you know what I mean? I don't even know, you know? But what I'm saying is, like that credit card balance that I just showed you guys, I had to use that, man, to get some of this business up and going because it costs so much. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Like, man, it is, you know what I mean? We out here, but you know, I'm making money now. I'm about to pay that thing off really tomorrow, probably. But anyway, so this is where we're at, guys. The fear of loss factor. When you pay with a credit card, right? It's easier than paying with cash. Okay. Now get this though, guys. Get this. 30% of the population can't cover an unexpected expense of $400 in a month's time. In 30 days, if you have an unexpected expense that pops up, that is $400, $400. 30% of the population can't pay that. 30%, guys, that's 1/3. That's 1 out of every 3 people. So if people that are watching this, if you're with two other people, only one of you guys, one of you guys aren't going to be able to handle a $400 unexpected expense and then pay your other bills. Is that not insane? I mean, to me, that's crazy because we just went through the pandemic and the country was shut down for 30 days. And I was saying that to people I know. Like, I was like, man, I don't know too many people that have enough money to cover their expenses for 30 days without getting an income, without getting a paycheck, right? Because we're in that employee mindset. So 30% of the population, guys. If we can't cover that $400 unexpected expense, guess what we do? Guess what we do? We put it on a credit card. We lease our future. We sell our future. I mean, it's kind of, man, it's kind of, it's vicious, man. It's a cold world out here, man. You better bundle up. You know what I mean? It's a cold world, man. Bundle up, man. Get a scarf, hat, mittens, all that. You're going to need it all, man, because it's cold out here. It's a cold world, right? So, but check it out. When you get the knowledge, because I was telling my homeboy this, man. He's a homeboy of mine, right? But he's also a head football coach, man. And I'm gonna donate to the football team, man, because I donate to people, man, in need or whatever, and I don't publicize that. But now that I got these couple of businesses, I gotta help, like with the We Buy and Help. I'm donating through them so that to use it for marketing purposes too, man. But I donated to them before I had the We Buy and Help and the GoGetters. So anyway, I tell them though, I'm like, man, I said, man, you're a coach, so you know, like. You tell your players, man, to give your best, to do your best, give your all when you're in the game, right? Well, we're in this game, go-getters. We're in this game. Whether you want to be in this game or you don't, we're in it. We're in it. So if you're in the game, you got to give your best. You got to give your all. And we're in this game and don't have a choice to be in this game, but we're in it. We're in it nonetheless. So you got to give everything you got. If you want to win, I want to win. I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was telling, like, man, you know, if you're in the game, man, you ain't got a choice. You tell your players to play their best. What we going to do? What we going to do? We're going to play our best. We're going to play our best, right? So when you get this knowledge, you're in the game and you can play, you can fight, man. You got a fighting chance to win, right? So guys, don't listen to that myth of, oh, if you want to build your credit, just get a credit card, put some charges on it and pay your minimum payments. No, don't do that. Do not do that, guys. If you want to build your credit, I'll tell you right now, if you want to build your credit and you get a credit card, say you have $1,000 limit on your card, right? Never go above $300 of usage. If you use $300, and you can't pay that $300 off at the end of the month, don't go above that $300, because if you stay below 30% of your credit limit, your credit score will go up. All right, your credit score will go up. Okay, now another way to get your credit score up is to pay off your card every month. Don't fall for that minimum payment bulls, man. Don't do it, guys. And if you don't have credit, like, oh, you don't got bad credit, you don't got good credit, you just don't have any credit, right? What they say, right? Get a secured credit card. It's $500. Get a $500 secured card. So that means you give them the $500 and then you got $500 of credit on this card. You can go charge things on this card, and you charge something on the card, and then you make your payment on that. You pay it off. So you've got that $500 security deposit pretty much in case you don't pay or something happens and you can't pay it. They got that deposit to come get it because you don't have credit, right? But if you don't have credit, get a secured card, okay? And then pay it off every month, okay? That's going to build your credit up. So the revolving, man, that's the worst way to build your credit. So don't make the minimal payments, right? Pay that thing off every month. Pay it off every month, guys. So guys, now what we're talking about here then, how you can get out of debt, how you can get out of debt and get financial freedom, because that's what this channel is about, giving actionable knowledge on how you can get financial freedom. That's what we want, guys. Actionable knowledge. We create that. We create debt, and we become the bank because we can. Okay, so in real estate, this is what I know, right? This is what I'm good at, is real estate and subject to and creative owner financing. Okay, so check it out. This is how you become the bank is we can take over mortgage payments on a house. All right, I'm gonna explain it real quick because I got some viewers on Facebook, and this is the first time that I've ever broadcast on Facebook Live. Okay, so think about it like this. Okay, when you have a car, a title to a car, that title to that car, it has your name on it, and then it has your lender's name on it. So you can't sell that car to me and pass the title. I can go change the title. You can't do that until you satisfy that debt, that other name of that lender that's on that title. Okay, but on a house, on the other hand, the deed to a house, it just has one person, your name on it. Okay, so the debt that you borrowed against, unlike a car, okay, you borrow money from the bank to get a car and their name is on the title. Well, with a house, a mortgage, your name's on the title, okay, and the debt, the money that you borrowed, it's on the person, it's on you. So you can sell that house. You can sell that house. You can change title on that house as many times as you want. You can change title 10 different times, and that mortgage debt stays on you. Now, the house, it is collateral for that debt. Okay, so there is a lien on that property. So if you don't pay that, and say one of the viewers sold their house to me and they don't pay, and then I don't pay that mortgage, the bank can still foreclose on it and come take the house from me. Okay, but the debt is going to be on the viewer that sold me the house. They're personally guaranteeing it. So this is how we become the bank. When we take over a mortgage payment subject to the existing financing, the mortgage stays with the person, the mortgage debt, okay? And we get the house, guys. We get the house, and we get to all financial disposition. We get the disposition of the house. So anything to do with it financially, it's ours. Boom. And we keep paying off that mortgage, paying that mortgage down until it's paid off. And then we own it, and that person got their mortgage paid off, right? But in subject to, this is how you become the bank. We don't personally guarantee that debt. We buy that house. Even if there's no equity in that house, so that person says, you know what, I still, the house is worth 100,000. I still owe 99,000 on it. I can't give them anything. All I can do is say, hey, I'll take over your mortgage payments so that you don't get a foreclosure on your record, right? And that's what you're getting. I'll have to give you something for consideration on the contract, but that's a little deeper conversation. So I don't give them anything, but I save them from getting a foreclosure on their record. Now I've got a house and I lease option that house out. I lease it out to then make my money back. It's pretty much like renting it when you lease it, but you're not responsible for maintenance. You're not responsible for repairs. So we're not landlords, guys. We just sit back and collect our money. So by becoming the bank, right? The Go-Getter family bank, we create debt. Then, so when you're the bank, you make the rules. You make the guidelines. There are no credit checks. Guys, when I go talk to a person that has an existing mortgage on their house, I don't bring proof of funds. I don't bring a bank statement that says, yeah, I got this much in the bank. I don't bring an application with my social security card and my ID so they can run a credit check. No, I don't. We don't do any of that. I don't bring my W-2s. There are no debt to income ratios. By becoming the bank, you don't have to do any of that, right? But we're service minded, right? We're coming in to help people, because a person can't sell their house. That example I gave you, if they bought the house for 100,000, they still owe 99,000 on there. They don't have any equity. Okay. If they call a realtor to say, hey, I need to sell my house, but they owe 99,000, the house is worth 100, right? So there's just $1,000 spread on it. You've got to pay that realtor 6% of the $100,000 purchase price. So that would come to 106,000. Okay. So you pay off your $99,000 debt, and you only sold the house for 100,000, you got to pay $6,000 for the realtor service. You got to come out of your pocket to sell your biggest investment in life. But when the Go-Getter family comes, the WeBuyAndHelp.com, you know what I mean? We buy houses and we help people. When we come, there are no realtor fees. There are no realtor commissions. We can take over that mortgage for you. We'll continue to make those payments. Ideally, we'd like to find a buyer for it. But until we find a buyer for it, we're just going to continue to make your payments. That's it, right? And we've become the bank, the Go-Getter family bank, man, the YouTube subscriber bank. You know what I mean? What you want to name your bank? That's the question. What do you want to name your bank? This is how you get financial freedom, not by going into debt and leasing your future. You get financial freedom by creating debt, right? Not going into debt. This is how you do it. Now, let's say this though. We can buy any house, okay? Let's say it doesn't have an existing mortgage on it. Okay, let's say somebody owns that house outright. Let's say they are a tired landlord, as they say, because with COVID, guys, the moratorium ends in 8 days. I'm counting down. I got a ticker somewhere around here counting about a second, because the moratorium on foreclosures ends in 8 days, which means like any FHA mortgages couldn't be foreclosed on, because the federal government, made that what was it, the American Cares Act or something like that. So there's a moratorium. So then that was only on FHA mortgages. But anyway, most loans are FHA mortgages. Most people can't qualify for a conventional. So anyhow, people that rent houses, when you pay your landlord rent, you are actually, okay, I'm going to pay, I got to pay my landlord $1,300 a month for rent. Okay. I go pay my landlord at $1,300. My landlord has a mortgage on the house that I live in. I know people out here like this that are buying houses on contract that have mortgages on them. They have mortgages on them. So that money that they're paying their landlord each month, that $1,300, that landlord is taking that $1,300 and they're going to pay that $1,000 mortgage that they have on it, and they're keeping that $300 every month, passive income. And then if they're buying that house on contract for that $1,300 a month, they're responsible for the repairs. They are responsible for the maintenance. So you're not landlords. You don't got to get up in the middle of the night with your tool belt on, driving your rusty truck to go fix something. Nah, man, we're not doing that. So anyway, back to what I was saying though. If a person owns a house outright, they're a tired landlord, and there's plenty of those, man, because of the moratorium. They weren't getting paid rent and they couldn't kick anybody out, right? But let's say they owned this house outright. Now, they couldn't kick anybody out and they weren't getting any rent money, but they still had to make repairs and come unclog those clogged up toilets and fix those leaky faucets, right? So instead of us, if we go say, hey, Mr. Tired Landlord, I see that you own this house outright. Look, it looks like you want to get rid of it, because we look at certain indicators to buy a home and to figure out if they're distressed. Okay, this is where the GoGetter family monthly subscription is going to come in. You're going to have access to exclusive tutorials, video tutorials and stuff to tell you like these indicators that we look at. We don't charge thousands of dollars to mentor you guys. Just don't do it, because I know that my people don't got money like that to be spending. And I'm going to give you the game, man. I'm going to tell you how to get the money to buy these places, because there's programs out there that tell you all this stuff, man, and they're the blueprint to do this, and they Monopoly, man, play the Monopoly game to win, and this, that, give you this basic information. But how the hell do you buy the houses? How do you buy the houses with this basic traditional information? If you don't got good credit and can't borrow money from the freaking bank, how do you buy the houses, man? They're giving you this trash, right? So anyway, let me get back to my point. The tired landlord owns the house outright, okay? So we go to them, and what we do, instead of going to the bank and borrowing the $100,000 to then give the landlord $100,000 to buy this house, nope. What we do is we turn the landlord into the bank. Okay, so instead of that, you can create a mortgage for that house because it's owned outright. So now it's the Bank of Bob. It's the Bank of Bob. We have created a mortgage. You can do an interest rate. You can do adjustable. You can do an option where you got to set out, you got to buy the house in 5 years, and you're making these many payments each month. The monthly payment is this much, to the Bank of Bob. So we have not went to a bank and had a credit check or showed W-2s. We haven't done any of that. We went to Bob and we talked to Bob. Right now, there's an artistry to this. We call it, the GoGetter family calls it conversational negotiation. Right? There's an artistry, and we instruct on how to do that too. I mean, we're gonna give you the game. I mean, all you gotta do is watch some of my videos too. You're gonna get the game. You're gonna get the game. So, and don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you're watching, hit like, man. If you like what I'm saying, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, share it, whatever, man. So anyway, so we go to Bob now. With Bob, we don't have to show our W-2s or do a credit application, and we can negotiate a no interest mortgage, a no interest loan. So we buy this house for $100,000. We'll say, Bob, we'll give you $500 a month until that $100,000 is paid off. $500 a month. So you just do the math. Take 100,000 divided by 500, and that's how many monthly payments you got to make, right? Then now with that, you got to give to Bob. Like, Bob is a tired landlord, man. Man, what? Why would I let you make payments? I have been renting this place, taking payments, making money for years, but I've been fixing clogged up toilets and leaky faucets for years, and I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. Renters have a lot of rights. I don't want to argue with people to get my money and be biting my nails every first of the month hoping to get paid. I say, Bob, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because Bob, I don't want you to be tired anymore, man. You deserve to enjoy the things that you built. Bob, you deserve to enjoy these things. So Bob, this is what we're gonna do, Bob. You're going from a landlord to a real estate investor. I'm gonna upgrade you, Bob. I'm gonna upgrade you, because what's gonna happen, Bob, is I'm gonna make these payments to you, right? Every month, like clockwork, Bob. And we're a company, Bob. It's just me. I'm the face of the company. I manage it. But we've got a committee, the financiers that take care of these things. So, Bob, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay you on every first of the month for this house. You won't be, Bob, responsible for any repairs, any maintenance, or any upgrades. We're going to do all that, Bob. So all you got to do, Bob, is go ahead and ride off into the sunset. But make sure you check your phone, Bob, every first, because you're going to get a ding from this direct deposit into your bank account. That's the difference between a landlord. That's the difference between a landlord and a real estate investor. Okay, because a landlord, if you go on vacation as a landlord, man, if you're going for 2 weeks and the first of the month is coming, you got to hope that these people are going to pay you on the first of the month. Or if something goes wrong at that house and they call you and you're on vacation, man, your vacation is ruined, because you're going to have to scramble to get somebody over there to fix whatever it is that needs to be fixed. Because if it's like a burst water pipe or something like that, that's on Bob, because that's Bob's house. Those people can move out. They can just up and leave and say, man, I don't care. This ain't my house. So Bob's always biting his nails. Well, Bob, grow them nails out. You don't got to bite them anymore, because I'm going to make these payments to you, but you're not a landlord. You're just collecting the money, Bob, until you get that 100,000. So, Bob, this is passive income. This is what builds wealth, Bob. This is your money making money for you, because you have already bought this house. So you spent the money on it. So this is what wealthy people do. They make money off of their money. It's a passive income. So just that house is $100,000. Okay. This is your bill. Your $100,000 bill is shaped like this. All right, Bob, you've already spent that $100,000 and bought that house, and you've been collecting rent off this house for 25 years. So you've got your $100,000 back and then some. Well, now you're going to get an additional $100,000, but this time, Bob, there's no leaky faucets. There's no clogged toilets. So this is how we turn Bob into the bank, guys. And this is how we get out of debt. This is how we stop selling our future, leasing our future, guys, because on the back end, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you this game, man. How long I've been on here, man? I can't even see the time of the broadcast. I don't even know. Whatever. So this is how we make our money. It's called an exit strategy. Okay. So we're buying this house from Bob. Now we can buy this house on a contract for deed, installment land contract, agreement for sale. Terms is when you create a mortgage. There's several ways that we can buy this house from Bob without going to the bank, right? Now, what we do on our end, our exit strategy to make our money back, because I can't just sit up here and pay somebody $500 a month and not make no money. You know what I mean? So we got to make our money. So I'm going to tell you guys how you make that money. What you do is you turn around. Your contracts have to be right, though. And I tell you this, man, the shield for the GoGetter family, it's a shield for a reason. Our contracts, oh man, phew, boy. Oh, hey, and I'm not a lawyer. I am not an accountant. These are informational purposes only, educational purposes only. But I am a go-getter. I'm a go-getter. So anyway, what we do is on the back end, we have an assignment clause in our contract. When we buy it from Bob, we're buying it from Bob. Okay. We've got an assignment clause in that contract. Number 5, the 5th point of the contract is the assignment, where we can assign this contract to somebody else and they become us, essentially. And in the contract, it says that Bob knows that we are not tenants of this place. Okay. We're not tenants. We're buying this place on contract, or we're buying it on lease option, but we're not tenants. Okay. So then what we do is we turn around and we assign that contract. All right. Now, so what we're doing is we're selling it rent to own. To boil it down to simple terms, it's rent to own. So we are selling it to our buyers, our end buyers, and we're providing affordable housing for the community as well, right? Because our buyers don't have to go to the bank and fill out a credit application. Guys, 75% of the country has less than perfect credit. Most people aren't going to qualify for a conventional loan. FHA loans, man, banks aren't even doing FHA loans anymore. I mean, most. I'm not going to say all. I can't just throw a blanket generalization out there, but most banks are not doing FHA loans, first-time home buyer loans, through the government, because of some stuff on the secondary market, and just I don't want to get too deep. So anyway, we're providing affordable housing, but think about it like this, guys. Think about it like this, because this is how the rich move anyway, the wealthy, right? And this is how we're moving. We buy our houses in trust. I mean, I told a viewer last night, man, that's my homie, man. I'm gonna have to mess with Santana, man. That's a good dude. So anyway, I told him last night, man, that it's simple, but it's not easy. Okay, you got to put in some work, man. I put in hours, man, hours overnight, hustling, researching, getting my information, man, then learning how to negotiate. I put in work. You know, you're not just going to get this just because you watch this video. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You're not. There's steps, man. There's things that you have to do that you must do. There's ways that you got to talk to people. But you got to put in the work. Things don't just come easy, right? So, where was I, man? Oh, our end buyers, right? What we're doing. Now look at it like this, guys. When you rent a car, when you go on a vacation, whatever, and you rent a car, you got to drive around. When you go return that car, man, you don't take that car to the car wash first and vacuum it out and wash it because you was renting it. So you like, man, this thing dirty as I don't know what. I had this thing for a week, man. This thing's tore up. It's got crumbs everywhere, man. This thing's in between the seat, man. I don't even know what, because I was kicking it. It was vacation, so I was chilling, you know what I mean? But I don't got to clean it. I rented it. So I'm bringing it back to the rental company. What do I care? Right? I'm renting it. This is the difference. This is why we don't rent too, because as a landlord, people don't care about your stuff. You're renting it, and then you got to go over there, fix stuff. And man, what? You got to bite your nails on the first every month. We don't even collect our lease payments on the first, man. We got a different date, man. I'm on it, dog. So anyway, the difference is this. On a rent to own, to boil it down, on a rent to own, people own this. They are renting it to own it. It's theirs. These payments they're making are going towards the purchase price, right? So if you own something, I don't own my car. I mean, I guess I do, but I got a loan from the bank, right? But I take care of it because those payments that I'm making aren't like a rental company car. It's not a rental. This is my car, and when I pay it off, it's mine. Just like a rent to own house. When you pay it off, it's yours. So you're going to take care of that house, right? You're going to, I'm responsible for the repairs on my car, for my car payments, right? So since I'm not going to call Ford and say, hey man, my muffler went out. What? Man, I don't care. That's what they're going to tell me. I don't care. You bought it from us. What? I don't care. That's what they're going to say. So same thing with my house that we're selling on rent to own. Okay. Now I don't want to get too deep, but that's the game, y'all. That's the game, y'all. So stop, man. You don't got to listen to these people anymore with like this crap that they're giving out, or this general information on how to become a millionaire, invest in real estate the traditional way. It just does not work that way. It doesn't. You got to have 20% down for the loan and all that, man. It don't work that way. And I'm not going to the bank anymore with my hat in my hand saying, yeah, mister, will you loan me some money, mister? Nah, it's not going to happen. We the bank. It's the GoGetter family bank, y'all. But hey, I gotta get up out of here, man. My daughter crying. She wants to see her dad, man. I'll be going hard, working all day. So check it out. If y'all like, if this was educational, and I hope that it was, like I said, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, man. And if you guys have some questions or whatever, just put it in the comment box, and I'll try to do an episode on it. If you guys got questions, I'll do an episode on it. We got some goodies coming up for y'all on the GoGetter family on GoGetterFamily.com. You can get on our email, subscribe to our membership, and the free portion of that, we're going to do an email newsletter. All right. And it's going to be all real estate information, right? Traditional real estate information, the non-traditional real estate information, creative financing subject to. That's what you want. So guys, I'm going to do another video, man, soon, because I just brought a title to the title company today. And I quit claim deed it, man. So the guy's just gonna give me a paycheck. I mean, the check for it. So we don't got to go to a title company or nut. I'm gonna show y'all the video of that, man. So guys, I got to get up out of here, man. And I appreciate everybody that was watching, man. I appreciate y'all, and I hope that I brought y'all some value too. All right. So until next time, let's get to it, y'all. Oh, there's a comment, man. Hold on, my bad. Hold on, let me see who. Oh, that's my homeboy. Yeah, okay. I got to get up out of here, y'all.